What's going on, people? TroopzTV back again. Back our blood clot again, you understand? Episode Bando 29. If you know, you know, you understand? Episode 29, you get me? Of the Trophie show, you understand? Obviously, my co-host, yeah, there's no trophies on her side, you understand? There could be a trophy on my side, you get me? But we are back again, you understand? That is Sophie behind her hand, you get me? That is not Lily, you get me? I know you probably think you see the brown hair, the white hand, the nails. You think the wife is pulled up. No, the wife is not pulled up, you get me? It is Miss Sophie Rose, you understand? Only one place to start, you get me? Congratulations to Liverpool's under-16 team on winning the Carabao Cup final. Yeah. We have a candle for Chelsea. You get me? Candle in the wind settings, blood. Shout out Elton John, R.I.P. Princess Di. You get me? You got blown away. Pause. You got blown away. You bottled it. You get me? This is very similar to a bottle. You understand? Yeah, Sophie. You can't blame Poch this time, mate.
I can.
No, you can't.
I can, but no, I'm going to start off. What do you want me to start off with my analysis?
Go on then.
I'm not really in the mood, by the way, guys. I've been very, very furious by it. And I don't actually, other than Spurs away, I don't really normally get that frustrated by games. Like, yeah, you lose, you're annoyed. But this is a different type of feeling. I think because it's a final, we lost it in, you know, the last 3 minutes of extra time. Things like that. Settings like that are what really put me in a bad mood. Do you want me to start from the beginning? Yeah,
we'd love you to start from the beginning.
I mean, I prefer not to speak at all, but I have to because that's my job.
Well, we do agree with the no snitch thing. You get me? No comment, but today you have to make a comment.
I have to make a comment, yeah. So I'll say, starting when I saw the lineup.
So how was your day before? Take us through the day.
Oh, the day, yeah. I got up, I got off the tube, we went to a pub, I didn't drink anything.
Yeah, because you said you was trying to keep it.
Yeah.
I wish you're drunk now, innit?
At half time, I literally had like a quarter of a wine, but then I just was like, oh, I don't want this. I had a lovely hot dog. German, one of those German stands, really nice, good £12 as well. So they do you know, it was £9.90 for a wine.
I believe it.
They're mad.
They take the piss.
Absolutely. And it's not like, do you know what as well, with all the money they made that day, they can't afford a bit of heating somewhere. Like, come on, it was absolutely Baltic in there. But
well, you are outside. It's not indoor.
I don't really care. They should still have some sort of heating in the back areas, or just make it.
Oh, you mean like in the on the concourse?
Yes.
I thought you meant like actually in the stands. Like you want to get like a fucking like you're in a shisha lounge. Man, gonna pull out flipping heated flipping things.
Yeah, like for instance, like Wembley, right? Wembley is like the equivalent. Well, it's not the equivalent because the Allegiant isn't as big, but the Allegiant Stadium in Vegas. Yeah. It's obviously covered over, so it has a roof and everything. But
I haven't been there.
If it's too hot, it's amazing. If it's too hot outside, it's gonna be cold inside. Vice versa, and they can so that you can actually walk around in something else other than.
Yeah, I've been to SoFi, which is similar to that in LA.
But it's beautiful.
Yeah, so it's the same. They've got the roof. You can take it off. You can have it on. When they did WrestleMania, they had the roof closed. Yeah. Then when I went to the Arsenal game, they had the roof open. So I got to experience both types.
Yeah. So it was just freezing. Like, sorry guys, you're making enough money. Please invest in some sort of, just get a roof for God's sake. Nobody cares. People don't want to sit there in the freezing cold. Anyway, so yeah, but I was row 7, so I was actually very, very close to the pitch.
Yeah, I saw from the post.
Yeah, which isn't always great because I do like to be a little bit further back sometimes because you get to see like a proper outlay of the pitch and then you can sort of see the formation your team are playing in. It's actually quite hard to view it from that side. What I can see though is the players' mentality very closely because I think you can read that, especially when you're right next to them. We'll get into Mudrick in a minute. But you know, it's story of our season really. All the possession, can't score. You can say, yeah, it's Klopp's kids against the £1 billion bottle jobs.
I saw one of them on the school run when I was dropping Trey off in the morning.
Stop it.
Hear me? Asking for a selfie. He was like, oh, it's you, lad, Troops, let me get one too, mate. I was like, yeah, come on, bro. You don't know.
You should do accents for a living.
I know, mate.
But no, but again, it's Klopp's kid. It's actually Klopp's kids versus Chelsea's kids. Just Chelsea's kids are worth a lot more.
Yeah. Your kids are spoilt brats.
Well, doesn't really seem that way. But I don't.
Your kids are the silver spoon kids. These are the ghetto kids. So it was literally like Kensington versus Ladbroke Grove.
Ladbroke Grove.
You get me? Like, I'm going to give you that West London terminology where Kensington's all nice and rosy.
Who sang that song?
AJ Tracy. He's a Tottenham fan though. Big up your damn self, but fuck your team, broski. As you
Yeah,
are.
how's he a Tottenham fan?
I don't know.
You know,
I think his dad's from Tottenham.
You know, he used to live in my house before I moved in.
Yeah, I remember you told me.
Yeah, not this one back in the day.
Yeah, the one that I went to. Was it that one?
Maybe,
The one on the river.
Yeah, years. No, it wasn't. No, not that one.
Not that one?
No,
Okay.
different one. We're going back years now. But yeah, nice lad. Anyway, but yeah, like, you know, you look at our team. Cole Palmer is 21. Gusto, 21. Do we need to fix that light?
Yeah, it's going to come back again, don't worry.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So Cole Palmer, 21 years old. Gusto, 20 years old. The oldest player we had on the pitch was Sterling. Petrovic, even our goalkeeper, made some brilliant saves, by the way. So he's him and Gusto are probably the only ones I'd big up. You know, Petrovic is 24. They're very, very young lads. So the difference here is, and I think it's important to address, as I always do, Todd has got this so wrong, okay? He has signed players like he's drafting for the NFL. You get them young, they eventually become superstars. That's not the way the Premier League works. That's not the way football works. It will never work that way. Just because you're a young player doesn't mean you're going to blossom into some Ronaldo-esque type of player. That ain't going to happen. You can tell the good young ones from actually quite early on. Something like, okay, for instance, Cole Palmer, Conor Bradley, they're doing well at the minute. The others, sometimes you can just see they're not going to be built for the Premier League. It's too intense. The pressure's too much. Mudryk, when he came on, he was right in front of me, okay? I do think he's low on confidence. I do think the way he thought his career was going to go at Chelsea, it hasn't gone that way. Obviously, when we signed him, there was all the hype around him being the new big thing, you know, especially, well, for us anyway. Yes, pause. And that really hasn't happened. However, when he came on, he's right in front of me. To me, looking at him, he just seemed like he had no concept of how big this final was and the severity of what was at stake here.
It was all or nothing.
And I don't think he got it. He had no he had no energy when he came on. He didn't look like he had any energy. He wasn't going in for tackles. He wasn't running for the ball. He wasn't reading the play. None of them were. The only substitute that came on that I actually thought did all right was Noni Madueke. But even he, right? This is why it annoys me with Poch. There's a moment in that where he makes a through ball to Nkunku, and Nkunku doesn't basically run into the correct space. Okay. He's then going to him like this. That's what you're meant to do. How does he not know how to do that? That is what you're there for. So you can say it's not Poch's fault, and I'll tell you the things that aren't Poch's fault. We have all the possession, we can't score, okay? He can't do anything about Conor Gallagher
Palmer
stuffing his chances. Palmer, although Keller made a good save. Yeah, he can't do anything.
Enzo.
He can't do anything about that, okay? However, he can change the mentality of the players. Coming out after the game and saying the team thought it'd be better if we played for penalties. Right, I'll tell you why you can't do that. And it's pretty standard, actually. As long as Virgil van Dijk is on the pitch, you do not do that. He already had a goal disallowed earlier in the game. Comes back, it only takes one cross.
Was that goal rightly disallowed in your opinion? Because I honestly think that both goals shouldn't have been disallowed. I think your goal should have stood.
I think ours was onside. And I think
yours was onside. I didn't really get
theirs. What is that about?
They're trying to say that I think somebody blocked Colwell from going to challenge Van Dijk, but it was Chilwell that was marking Van Dijk. So I don't understand why it was pure corruption in my opinion. Yeah, I believe that your one should have stood as well. Because I'm watching along, I was saying, I said, bro, he's onside. Like,
yeah.
You're trying to fuck with the thing still, and then because I think they realized they fucked up on your goal. So Van Dijk one, they were like, no, we gotta level it. We have to find a reason to, because this can't. It's gonna be like the whole Liverpool Tottenham game,
yeah,
where the goal should have stood in it. They fucked it.
I don't know.
I think it was that.
But how are you getting this wrong? Because I looked at it right, and even when I saw Jackson make the run, he looked onside to me, just about, but he looked onside to me, and I could tell.
I knew it was Sterling because he was behind the ball.
Yeah, because he was losing his line a little bit early on in the game. We'll get into Jackson in a minute, but then I think he sort of leveled himself out, and I could tell when he made that pass, he was onside when he got the ball. Very, very marginal. But who is drawing these lines? Like, we're fans, okay? We're not pundits.
And the angle they showed as well, it wasn't really a good angle. They're trying to cover up the angles.
I'm like, what are you doing? Honestly, I don't know.
They know what they're doing. It's corruption.
Yeah, it must. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I looked at it and I was like, yeah, that's odd to me. Because I even texted my mates. I was like, listen, when you're at a game, you can't always see things.
That's what I'll do. I'll message Lily, because I know she's watching the game with Trey.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, yo, what's the VAR decision? And she'll be like, you got done dirty.
Yeah.
And I'll just start cussing in the ground like, what the fuck? And my head's gone.
Yeah. Like it's madness to me. However, when Virgil van Dijk is on the pitch, Chelsea need about 20 chances to score. Liverpool, with that team, probably needed about 2 or 3, okay?
They had,
as long as Van Dijk
the only chances they had was Gakpo when he hit the post. They had
we hit the post as well, didn't we?
You hit, yeah, Gallagher. They had the Bradley chance, what got blocked. They had the Van Dijk disallowed goal. And then they had one. What was the other one? They had one more. They had like 4 chances. You lot had about 7, 8. There was one, the chance with Nkunku, it blocks. Then Palmer shoots, it blocks. Then Gallagher misses it. And then Nkunku hits it. And then I think it was Gusto coming in that shot. It was like 3 chances in one phase of play.
Yeah, like I say, you can't blame Poch for that. He's not, you know, he's not responsible for Gallagher and Palmer and missing their chances, okay? I get that. However, I cannot imagine if Mourinho was in charge, he would have said, yeah, let's play for penalties. Or Conte. Or who's the other guy who used to manage Atletico Madrid? No.
Oh, Simeone. He's still there.
Yeah, like I can't imagine them saying that against Liverpool. I just can't imagine it. Especially when the game hasn't been even. So if it is an even game and you can see both teams are getting really tired, I get it. But that ain't the case here. We were all over them. The minute you choose to sit back, they only need 1 corner, 1 free kick. A goal's going in. As long as Van Dijk's on the pitch, as long as Diaz is on the pitch. It was mind-boggling to me that he thought that tactic was going to pay off. I don't think the players didn't try hard. They all looked absolutely knackered, especially the younger ones. You know, like Gusto. Disasi's a little bit older, but you could tell, you know, their first final, they really did give it everything. Our problems aren't really at the back, though. Our problems are in the final third. And I think the reason I blame Poch in that instance is because he's not giving them the correct mentality. And Madueke saying, go like this. What the hell? What's Poch telling them in training? How are you not getting, like you know, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Run to make.
Yeah, but how are you not perfecting that in training? I don't understand.
They put a clip out today of Arsenal doing set pieces, and the set piece they were doing was the equaliser against you lot, the Trossard, when we came back post and he flicked it, and it was just like the Chelsea goal that we scored. So we're working on things, and then we're implementing it into a game.
That's what you
lot are just on the training floor doing fuck all.
Another thing that annoyed me about Poch on that day, he substituted Sterling before Jackson. Whatever you think of Sterling's performance, okay, was he 10 out of 10? Obviously not. I wouldn't say any of them were.
I think he went to his house because he's from Northwest.
But Jackson,
I'm sure I saw him in the end.
Every time Jackson got the ball, he either fell over flat on his face.
To be fair to Jackson,
no control.
he didn't really.
No, I don't want to hear it.
Sophie, I'm going to defend him now because he was the only one. He was literally up against Van Dijk and Konate, and he was still causing problems. He was still holding the ball, bringing them in. I don't think Jackson done that bad. I'm not going to lie. I don't think Jackson done that bad.
The first half, when the ball gets played into him, he's 1-on-1 and he just falls flat on his face. What are you talking? What are you doing?
No, but we know that. But what I'm saying is he was bringing in Palmer. He was bringing in Sterling. He's bringing in the midfield.
Okay.
He's holding the ball up, but there's no one to, you get me, work with.
When you play Jackson
then he can't finish.
as a number 9, it's pointless, okay? You're either going to play him out wide or you're not at all. He takes off Sterling and brings on Nkunku, and what I would have done then is move Jackson out wide and played Nkunku up front. Nkunku's out wide. What are you like? I don't really understand that. Yeah, he might have evened it out in the end to the point where when Jackson went off and Nkunku then went up front. I think that's what happened. From where I could see anyway, I was like, what's he doing? Like it's poor team management, poor tactics all the way around. I thought with this team, okay, they need a manager. Potter was too nice. They needed a manager who is nice until you try them. I thought Poch offered that. He had Champions League experience. He's managed some top teams. I thought, okay, he's what we need. No, these kids need somebody who is literally going to test them every single day. If you're not good enough, you're out. And I guarantee you'd see a complete change in mentality, a complete change in everything. Because at the minute, they're just waddling along.
You think a manager changes this whole thing?
No. I think what Todd has done, you think about £1 billion that's been spent, he could have bought for 300 million 3 world-class strikers of 100 million each. And that would have more or less solved the issue that we have. Because all the only issue is up front. That's all. That's the only issue we have. And I think then you'd start to see other players come through. I think you'd start to see Enzo and Caicedo playing better football, making more assists.
Let's talk about Enzo. how he had more energy for a Liverpool fan than Liverpool players.
I think he's useless. Again, though, you look at Enzo, right? He's only 23 years old. He's a kid. They're all kids. When you look at Liverpool, yeah, they had a lot of their kids out.
But 105 million?
Yeah, but the thing is, the price...
230 million pound midfield.
And why do you think...
bullied by it wasn't even 100 million pound midfield. Do you know Liverpool's bench,
how much do you think they're worth?
Watch this back. You know Liverpool's bench, compared to your bench, you'd have to spend... Your bench was worth your bench cost 9 times the amount that the Liverpool bench cost.
Okay, and why do you
and
think
the Liverpool bench came on and dominated the midfield. It's mad.
And why do you think that is?
Wait, but Poch or Bowie?
No. Why do you think they cost so much money?
Oh, because that's the money they asked for?
No. Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah.
They're
And
not
you
worth
paid
it. If I was another club, this is what happened, especially with Brighton, for instance. They knew Todd was inexperienced, ill-advised, unequipped, and had absolutely no concept of how football works and how you do business. They ripped him off, left, right and centre. Enzo is not a £100 million player. Will he go on to be one day? I don't know. Probably not in the Premier League, though. Caicedo, again, Brighton, ripped off, okay? I'm not saying he's not going to become great, but when you have players like that are worth 100 million, £100 million players should be more the Declan Rice standard. Players that have played Premier League, players that show leadership, players that have stability, players that are consistent. We don't have any of that. And what Liverpool did have that day that we didn't have is experience, leadership, players that set an example and demonstrate how to behave on the pitch. You think Van Dijk is going to be going and picking a fight with a 20-year-old Madueke? Of course he ain't. He's going to set an example. I love the passion from Chilwell, don't get me wrong. But you can't be doing stuff. When you're a captain, you lead by example. You set the example. And your passion, your frustration shouldn't turn physical. It should be all up here. It should be mental. It's madness. And that to me, though, I think he had an ego about that day. I might be wrong. I think a lot of it was ego. I think the majority of his performance, I'd probably give that a 6 out of 10. It wasn't that great at all.
Since he's been at Chelsea, let's be real, he's been shit.
Nah, like when him and Reece James are bossing the midfield and they had Mason, especially when Mason Mount was there, Mason Mount and Chilwell used to link up quite well together. But those days are gone.
I all think that, like, I call these lockdown players.
Listen, I'll just
Chilwell was good in lockdown. Pulisic was good in lockdown. Mount was good in lockdown. There's certain players that were like good in lockdown, but when we came out of lockdown, you started to see the real players start to play football again, and then them ones who had that little purple patch just drifted into the night.
Listen, everything that's happening at Chelsea now is a prime example of someone who is going to run a business into the ground very, very quickly, because it's already heading that way.
Is this the end of Chelsea?
No, it's not the end of us, but
because we're going to do next season now. You ain't getting in Europe. What happens next season now? Who are you going to attract? Because this is the thing now. Money can only attract a certain caliber.
Yeah.
When you want actual quality, you've got us that's cooking. Liverpool, if they win the league, even without Klopp, they've got the league. They're in Champions League. That's a. If they get Xabi Alonso, people are going to want to go there after seeing what he's doing in Germany. You got Pep at City. Yeah. You got flipping United is looking like Tuchel's going to go there. So people are going to want to play under Tuchel. They're going to be in Europe. Might not be Champions League, but they'll be in Europa. You got Villa, who's on fire right now. If Villa
Villa were going to drop off.
But I don't know now. It's looking kind of mad.
Ooh.
It's actually looking.
Have you changed your perception?
It's actually looking like they could do the Newcastle now, because the way Bailey's playing. I said to everyone, let's slide on now. We're going to go to Arsenal. Yeah, Leon Bailey. Jamaican man, you get me. I said that when Emery goes there, he's going to elevate Bailey to a level that I've told you lot that he's on. Now everyone's seeing why I used to say Bailey's cold. You lot don't know about Bailey, blood. Bailey's cold. Now Bailey is cooking. One of the form players in the Premier League right now. Him, Watkins, Douglas Luiz, that Conce at the back, proper young defender, English as well.
No, Villa have got some great players, don't get me wrong.
The way the football they're playing is scary.
Yeah.
It's scary. And then them, if they get Champions League, Villa's a big club.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to attract. Emery could attract. You understand? Then you got Tottenham, who might have Europe. The way that Ange's playing, Madison, they got a little, you know what I mean? People might want to go there.
Yeah.
You lot are going to be like, just like basically getting like the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
And then you've got all of this, like then you got all these players on these long contracts.
Well,
you can't even get them out because they're sitting there like, bro, I'm on 100 something a month for 7 years, brother. My family said I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. You lot are like, that's what I'm saying. Literally, is this the end? Because this could,
It's not
and I said as well, when Roman left, you're fucked. You're finished. Your days are done. When Todd came in, because he's a billionaire, a lot of Chelsea fans got gassed. But I had Zara, but I was at Barstool at this point. And Zara, obviously the American youths, they told me that this guy will come in and spend money. He'll throw the bag because the way he's at the Dodgers, he just throws it.
Yeah.
But he's like, he won't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's not going to be good for them because they'll get like top stars, but he's going to like just, he's going to try and like make a Space Jam team.
Well, I said to Robbie, this is like probably start of the season, more or less. I said, it's a bit like me. Say I was a multi-millionaire and I went into a cybersecurity company and I bought it, okay? I would run that company into the ground within 2 seconds. Doesn't matter how much money I spend on it because I don't know what I'm doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. You only spend money within your field. Now, that's why I've had an issue with being critical on him because I'm very critical on Todd.
Yeah, you've been on him from early.
I am. But I'm not upset in a way that I feel like he has not permitted us to try and attempt to succeed. I don't see it that way. You know, it's not a Daniel Levy. It's not like the Glazers. You know,
how the Cronkies were until
like the
we started
Cronkies,
to
yeah,
move,
exactly.
yeah.
Until you've started to get. It's not like he doesn't want to spend the money and he wants to run it as business and make all the money for himself because he has splashed a load of cash. But when you don't know what you're doing with the money, there's really not much difference between somebody who doesn't have a lot of money and somebody who has a lot of money and won't spend it, and somebody that has a lot of money and doesn't know how to spend it. There's really not much of a difference there when it comes down to it. And I think with Todd, what you've seen now is other clubs rip him off because they know for a fact that he doesn't know what he's doing. So players that are probably only worth 40 million are now worth 100 million, and that ain't the case. If he knew what he was doing realistically when he came in, first of all, the first point of call would have been, okay, who in the Premier League already is some of our main competition, and who do I think we can get from a rival team that can come in and actually benefit us? A bit like what you did. Took Declan Rice from West Ham. I'd be looking at the Jared Bowens, things like that. I know they're older.
Even to an extent, the Havertz, the Jorginho, where we're going to rivals, the Jorginho one hurt you.
Yeah, but why
that
do you
one
think,
hurt you?
No, but he didn't play well. He's playing well for you. He didn't play well for us. It was 50-50. Sometimes he did, sometimes he didn't. It was all a bit all over the place. But again, also, if you look at that, we had a manager at the time in Tuchel that, especially in the Champions League final, you could even tell. You look down the tunnel at City. City are all over the place. Chelsea, we were in one straight line. That is the mentality that a manager should be installing into every single one of those players for a final. Doesn't matter if it's a Champions League final, doesn't matter if it's an FA Cup final or Carabao Cup final. I don't care if it's the fucking Community Shield, okay? That is what the mentality should be. And Poch coming out and saying, yeah, we thought it'd be better if we tried to play for penalties. Okay, what, with Van Dijk on the pitch who only needs one cross for a header to end the entire game?
And the set pieces where you lot are probably at your weakest.
Are you crazy? Like, what are you doing? So I'm raising my voice. I need to calm down.
We like Angry Sophie.
I don't like Angry Sophie. It's not good for my anxiety, you know, not great.
I got something for that.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, so...
I don't know if you'll take it though.
What is it?
You know what it is.
Oh, no, I'm not doing that. That's not what I need, okay? I do not need a Zuby. Whatever you call it. But nah, do you know what? It's just frustrating because... You know, I don't think the players didn't try hard. You can see on their faces they did. You can see they were absolutely exhausted. They're just poorly managed. They've been put together, you know, by default because of an owner that has no clue what he's doing. And when you don't have a certain level of expertise in this sort of business, like it or not, football's a business now, you're going to get severely punished for it. I'd be very surprised, and this sounds bizarre, and everybody's going to disagree with me. I'd be very surprised if Todd Boehly doesn't think about selling within the next 5 to 6 years because he's going to run out of money. We're not going to be getting Champions League anytime soon. I don't know who's advising him, but unless he's going to employ somebody who is in charge of being a managing director, not himself, somebody in charge of recruitment that knows exactly what they're doing, that has a lot of experience in this field, I don't see how he's going to be able to sustain it. He's now got players on an 8-year contract, which to him, he's thinking, yeah, because we can buy more players. But what he doesn't realise is it's not like the NFL where kids come out of college, they get drafted and all they want to do is play football. A lot of players in the Premier League, when they're very young, if you're on anything between 20 to 200 grand a week and you're on an 8-year contract, are you really going to give that much of a shit?
You don't care.
You're not going to care. Okay. And I'm saying I had a different mentality when I was younger. I always wanted to work hard no matter what. But some people aren't built like that. Okay. I weren't on 20 grand a week, mind you. But I always had that inner drive. But there's loads of people around me that just wanted to get their money every weekend and go home. You know, that it's two different types of people. And I think when you're that young and you come into it and you already giving somebody an 8-year contract when you know they've got stability is different to paying somebody maybe 100 grand a week, but they've only got a 2-year contract. Then they're going to know in the back of their mind, well, this might not last forever. They know it's going to last the majority of their time as a professional athlete. So he's messed up there. And yeah, he needs to get some better advisors in, because I'd be very surprised if he'd be able to keep this going any longer. There's no more money to spend, by the way. There's no more money to spend. We can't improve on this. He spent money in all the wrong places. All he needed to do was sort out the upfront, get in a replacement for Kante and get in a replacement for Rudiger and Dave, probably. That was it. And that could have been done with less than $500,000 if he spent the money right. Got ripped off. Simple as that. And now the fans are suffering for it every single week. And it's sad because you just want to go and see your team win. Even if we'd gone and we'd given it a proper go, which, okay, I can't lack their effort levels, but when you play like that and you can see that this is the same thing all throughout the season. We're now nearly into March. There's no improvement. What are they doing in training? If I was Conor Gallagher, if I was Jackson, I'd be on that training pitch every single night, perfecting every single part of my game in the final third, because that's the only stuff that needs to work. That needs to be worked on. Conor Gallagher's got everything else down. He's a workhorse. He can get back. He can defend. He can run at players. He can do all that. He just hasn't perfected that final third, and we know that's what he can do because he's done it at Palace 2 years in a row. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say other than it's just majorly disappointing, and I don't know how we fix it with an owner that is just clueless. Again, when you said when you came in earlier, you said Poch didn't even shake his hand. I think there's obviously something going on there.
He shaked Egg Barley's hand.
I get,
but he literally, like Todd Bowie went to put out his hand, and he just walked straight past and just shook the next shoot's hand. And
if that was me, right? If that was me, I'd be thinking in Poch's head. Again, this is just speculation. I don't know if this is true. I'd be thinking, God, you've given me all young kids to work with and no experienced, stable players around them. That's what I'd be thinking. You know what I mean? Because you integrate those players in. You're not going to... Conor Bradley's doing great, but you're not going to throw him on with 9 other Conor Bradleys, are you? You're going to have the Van Dijks and the Konates and the Gakpos and whoever around them, and the Diazes and whatever else. God almighty. If Salah, Szoboszlai, Jota, Darwin were all on the pitch, we would have literally got annihilated 6-7-0.
It could have been...
It would have been absolutely horrific.
Yeah, it could have been like the biggest cup final defeat in recent years.
But Poch saying that, I think in extra time, when, you know, the team thought it would be better if they played for penalties, that was just the killer. That just killed the entire game. He should have been... If that was me, I'd be saying to them, no, we're absolutely knackered. This is not going to penalties. We're going to finish them off. End of. Different mentality. Can we talk about something else now?
60 million down the drain. Kai Havertz scores again. Samana, waka waka,
I like that song.
Brother, let me tell you something.
Love it, Shakira.
Let me tell you something. Havertz was never playing the way he's playing now at Chelsea. I never saw this Kai Havertz at Chelsea. This Kai Havertz, he was playing against Newcastle, Arsenal 4. What was the fucking score?
They were terrible by the way.
4-1. Yeah, 4-1. There it is. Because we're just slapping teams, bro. Was it 5-0? Was it 6-0? Was it 4-0? I don't know, blood. You get me? Man, got to get the abacus out of them thing there. You feel me? But...
Well, I haven't actually seen you since the Porto game.
Yeah.
Have I?
Yeah.
I did watch that, by the way, before we get into the Arsenal thing. But I think the response you gave in the Newcastle game, I know it's two different leagues, and I know you said they've got no experience. A lot of it's just young kids like Saka, like they've never experienced it.
And then you see what happened.
But so slow. Do you know what happened to me, Troops?
Go on.
No word of a lie. It got to 93 minutes, and I was like, right, I've sat through the whole of this so that I can have a proper, intellectual conversation with Troops about this on the podcast. You want me to watch more, of the teams that don't really concern me. And I thought, you know what? It's 93 minutes of this absolute rubbish. I'm going to go and brush my teeth, pee, do my creams, and I come back down. Okay, what happens? I go upstairs. I come back down 5 minutes later, and there's a 94th minute goal for Porto. I was like, every time. Happens to me every time I leave a room.
So it's your fault.
No, it's not my fault.
You should have stayed in the fucking room. They wouldn't have fucking scored. You understand? But it
Yeah,
was the
but-
performance I wanted. But we're two different sides in Europe and in the Premier League.
Why do
in
you,
the Premier
why do you
League,
think? Do you just think it's inexperience?
yeah, it is, because in the Premier League, you look at the team. Everyone's Premier League proven. Everyone knows how to play in the league. Everyone's comfortable. In Europe, there's no one. You get me? Like Jorginho, but he didn't start. You get me? Havertz, he ain't really like that experienced. For me, it's Jorginho.
Oh, he scored a winning goal.
Yeah, but for me, like I think that was like his only second season in Champions League or something. For me, it's like Zinchenko, Jorginho, Partey, Gabriel Jesus. They are the experienced Champions League players, and none of them were there.
Yeah.
You get me? So I already knew this could go left. You understand? I said,
Were they not there because of injury or just?
yeah, injuries. So I knew that, that could go left. Jorginho was on the bench. He came on too late. He should have started. If he started, I think we win that game, because it was the midfield where we was losing out. Saturday, though, he put in Jorginho, bossed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely bossed it.
What has happened to Newcastle? Don't take me wrong. Like you were insane. You were insanely good, and you're not. It's not like you're.
No, but there was a lot in this
nils.
game as well, like, because the way the last game went down at St. James's, Bruno Guimaraes, the little bitch, he was doing up bare fuckery. He elbowed Jorginho. He flipping slapped Fabio Vieira in his face. He got away with bare bullshit.
The ball was off the pitch. And
The goal shouldn't have stood. So there was a lot, like Arteta's pre-match press conference when he's this disgrace. I feel ashamed. I feel embarrassed. Like there was so much on it. You get me? So
Yeah.
you could tell there was, because from the whistle blew, it wasn't even like from minute one. From the whistle blew, we were on them. We had a corner in the first 10 seconds. I knew straight away, we're killing these, man. We're killing these, man. Because I said 2-0 before. I saw that Dubravka was injured. When I saw Karius, I said 3-0. It was 3-0 by what, 60th minute? But Bukayo Saka, brother, let me tell you something now, yeah. This kid is the most productive winger apart from Salah in the Premier League.
Saka.
Yeah. The only
so good.
winger that for me,
I had him in my bet to score.
you see?
And he did.
He scored 5 in a row.
Yeah.
The first player to do it for Arsenal for about 5 years or something.
So he's a kid that's worth over 100 million.
You feel
to
me? You feel me? And for me, like I said, there's only one better winger in this league right now, for me, better than Saka, and that's Salah. Because he's so productive.
Yeah.
Like, he might not have a good game, but then he'll pop up with a goal. He'll pop up with an assist.
Yeah.
You get me? He doesn't have to... He's at that level now where he don't have to play well.
How old is Saka?
22.
Yeah.
23.
But this is what I mean between the difference between some of Chelsea's youngsters
Yeah.
and some of other youngsters. Okay, the youngsters in Chelsea's team, for instance, that I think can go far will be Palmer, Gusto, he's only 20 and he's already showing just confidence. You can see that, especially when you're at the games, you can see the confidence he's showing. His initiative is on point. So they're the sort of players that you can tell from a young age are going to be good. The rest... it's never going to work. Okay, it's very unlikely that it will in the Premier League. Elsewhere, maybe, but then you've got players like Saka. Who else? Like Foden from City. There are a few that they're the youngsters that you can tell.
You got Konsa at Villa. You got Ramsey at Villa. You got Billy Gilmore that you don't let.
Garnacho is what,
that you
19?
Nah, fuck Garnacho, he's shit. Billy Gilmore, who's doing great things at Brighton. You don't let him go. You get me?
Got sent off.
But he's been playing tremendously
so
well.
when-
You get
when
me?
Chelsea
You need a midfielder. He's playing better than Conor Gallagher right now, bro.
When Chelsea
if you
signed-
had Billy Gilmore instead of Gallagher in your midfield, there'll be a difference.
Well, when Chelsea signed Billy Gilmore at a very, very young age, he was the talk.
Yeah,
at that
he was the
time.
new big-
He was the new big thing.
Yeah, the new wonder kid.
So that didn't
he
make-
took a bit of time.
Yeah, so that
but
didn't-
now he's starting to. It's like Morgan Gibbs White at Forest. He was labelled
Yeah.
this wonder kid, but now you're starting to see
Yeah.
what people were talking about when he was younger. You get me?
Yeah.
And with Havertz now, like I said, I never see this at Chelsea. His hunger, his desire, his work rate. He actually wants to play for Arsenal. He actually wants to do well. He's playing like a man possessed. He's playing like he has a point to prove, and he's proving his point week after week. At one point, I started to worry, and I was like, shit. Everything that you lot say to me about him is coming to fruition. But it's like that Dubai trip has just changed this whole team. It's changed the mentality. We have come back on absolute smoke. Like Martin Odegaard for me right now is he's the best midfielder in the Premier League right now. He's on form level. No one's playing like him. No one's dictating games like him. No one's controlling games like him. The football he is playing and the way that he is controlling this Arsenal team, it's a fucking joy. You got Declan Rice, who is 100 million, and he's proven that he's 100 million week after week.
He is 100 million.
You understand? Our defense, solid. You get me? We conceded a goal, but we've had 10 clean sheets this season. You understand? Like, I'm not like I'm very happy with the performances, but I'm still like.
Well, look, I think like I always want players to do well. When I've criticised Havertz in the past, it hasn't been because I don't want them to do well, and I know, especially when you've got all that heat on you, it's like you feel like everybody's against you, and that can only knock your confidence. I get that, and sometimes I feel bad when I say things because a week later I'm feeling a bit different. And I'm like, oh, I was too harsh on the podcast. But the biggest thing with Havertz and Jorginho will always be the consistency. Can they keep it up? It's all very well having a good 6 months or a good 2 months, whatever else. It's what can you keep that up over the period of your contract?
With Jorginho,
so you just have to see.
Yeah, Jorginho don't really play a lot in it, but when he does play, every time he's been put into that midfield to do a job, he's done the job. There's only one time he let us down, because you know he's gonna get run past by midfielders because he's slow. So you know he's gonna get spun. You know that shit's gonna happen. But the only time he actually let us down was the North London derby. It was the worst time to do it. But that's the only time I can say, wow, cussed his Clark. You get me? Every time he's gone in there, he's dictated the game. He's made us a better team.
Well, maybe
it's the big games as well, because Liverpool, he played, dictate, won. The Man City game, he went in again, dictated, won. He's a big game player.
Maybe Arteta just knows when to use him then correctly, because at Chelsea he was more or less always in the starting lineup, and I think that's probably where it went wrong. Sometimes players are more impact players and they're better off the bench. I have no problem with that as long as they're getting goals and some game time. That's fine by me. You have to use whatever you have to the best of your ability, especially as a manager. You need to know when certain players are cut out or the right fit for a certain game, depending on how your opposition plays. So I have no problem with that. Again, it will just be the consistency, and see you'll only be able to see that over time. But yeah, Havertz has been great as of late. And your whole team's been amazing, and you've got a togetherness about you and a confidence about you, and that, you know, also when you're winning games so confidently and you're not just scraping through the odd 1-0s, which will happen eventually, especially when you come to play Liverpool and City. You know, I think there'll be goals in those games.
Liverpool, we've played. We've got City, United, and Tottenham. Them three away.
And us.
No, you're at home though. You're getting murdered.
I know.
You're getting Jesus.
My friend's
Christ.
an Arsenal fan. He said he might take me to that one. I think it's March 16th.
Yeah.
That game is.
Yeah,
so,
a couple of days before Trey's birthday.
I'll be there, but I think hopefully I'll be in the hospitality level so that I can just cry in the warm.
Yeah, I might be in Barca. I'm not even too sure.
Oh, will you?
Yeah, it's Spanabis. I'm not sure.
It's just this season has like taken everything out of me. I've got Leeds tomorrow. Leeds are on fire at the minute. They're on form. Yep. Okay, didn't they just beat Leicester?
Yep. You're high flying.
Yeah, I'm just like, maybe we should fill this with some vodka instead of green tea.
Some Hennessy.
No, I'm joking. No Hennessy, darling. I can't do that.
You need some Hennessy.
No, I do not.
It'll help you.
No, I've got my CMOS.
You're taking it now.
Well, yeah, but you've got to be consistent with it. It's not.
You got to take it every day.
Well, Troops always says to me, "Oh my God, you're ill again," and I'm like, "Listen, Sophie is ill most of winter.
Yeah, she's always ill, bro.
The second I get cold, it's game over.
Your immune system's as a joke.
Yeah, but it was when I was little. I always remember my mum bought me a necklace from Ernest Jones. It was like £50-60, which was very expensive back in the day for us. We didn't have a lot of money, and it was to like a present for me being so brave, because I used to have to go in and have loads of blood tests, because I think is your white blood cells, is that what I think it's the white blood cells. My count was very low, and this went on for months, so I used to have to go in and have injections all the time. But yeah, I'm Greek, I'm Mediterranean, my blood is not meant for the English weather.
Bro, I'm Jamaican. Yeah, but I'm Pakistani.
No, but Mediterranean, I'm fragile, okay? You're a man. I need warmth. Sophie needs heat. My bones are cold constantly in the winter. I can't take it anymore. I just can't. It's freezing. It's only getting colder, and we're just going into March. It's too cold. I've had enough. The football's shit. The weather's shit. I feel like shit.
You or Man United?
It's two different issues there. We've got a load of young players who've never played Premier League, who don't really know how to play Premier League, and only a couple of them have lived up to expectation. They've got already very experienced players who, for some reason, it's one step forward, two steps back. United have got all sorts of problems. Again, I think a lot of it comes down to their owners as well. So
they spend though, and they don't like. It's not like, and the Glazers don't pick the signings. They just say, "How much is he? All right, here you go."
Fulham dominated them.
Yeah, dominated. Like Iwobi was violating them.
But the Iwobi goal.
Iwobi should have had a hat trick.
The second goal, No one was even marking him.
Nah, he was all
He's
by
just
himself.
left out there by himself.
And then Maguire should have pulled him down. Like, people were saying, oh, Maguire was on a yellow. Bro, it's the 93rd minute.
Yeah. You
Bro,
need to get sent off.
You need
you
to.
go for
That's
it.
the one time when nobody would moan at you.
Yeah.
Like, not even the biggest Maguire hater would have been like, cool. You know what? And he would have probably got like praise for it because he equalized. And then you do that, you literally saved the point for the team.
Yeah.
You understand? And it would have been a very lucky point because Fulham deserved to win. Fulham, and the thing is this, Fulham never had Paulina. Paulina was suspended. They had no Willian as well.
Yeah, it's mad.
That's what I'm like. It's not like they went there with a full strength team.
Did D. Cordova-Reid play?
Bobby didn't play.
Wow.
Kearney was on the bench.
Yeah. Yeah,
And United got like Bruno Fernandes, absolute mug. That man, bro, let me tell you something. Man United
Fulham have had
fans
a bad spell for a bit as well.
But let me say, like, Man United fans, if any of you defend that rat,
who's the rat?
Bruno Fernandes.
Oh.
He is an absolute rat, bro. Even as an Arsenal fan, I actually feel sorry for them. To have him as a captain, to have that pussy-hole as a captain, blood. He is so soft. He's soft like baby shit. You know, baby shit's bare soft. The green one is mad soft,
I don't
bro.
wanna see that,
you
darling.
get me? That's him. Did you see the fucking way he dropped? Did you see that clip?
No, I didn't.
Oh my
Was
god,
he being
this
a
man,
baby?
he's an embarrassment.
Was he being a baby?
If I saw Trey do that, I'd make him do 50 burpees. I swear to God.
Get him on the burpees.
Oh my god, the man is an embarrassment. Marcus Rashford as well. He is an absolute bum. He is a disgrace
I don't know how much
to Manchester United. How Man United fans defend him as well is beyond belief. The man was at a DBE concert the same night, bro.
Yeah.
The same night he's out raving with fucking Young Ads and LB. Bro, are you all right in your head? Are you all right? 1 minute you're going Ireland to rave. Now you're going to link the fucking man them. Brother.
I think him and Lingard are the two that had so much potential.
He should not go to the Euros.
But that's what I'm saying.
He should not go to the Euros.
Well,
Marcus Rashford
Gareth
should not
Southgate's an
be
issue in
picked
itself.
for the Euros, blood. You should take Bowen. Yeah?
100%.
Take Bowen, take Saka,
Take
Rice. No, I'm not for forward line. So
sorry.
Saka, Foden, Maddison,
Palmer you can take.
Palmer. I'd take Palmer over him.
100%.
I'd take Palmer. I'd take flipping.
Just based on attitude alone.
Yep, because Palmer's got something about him. And Palmer, he's quality. You get me? Rashford, he's just a road runner. You shit. You Marcus Rashford.
But you know, I think with Rashford and Lingard at one point was said to were they were all the hype, right?
Because Lingard and Pogba came through the same Man United youth team. So
Yeah.
it was Pogba and Lingard. And then
Yeah.
Rashford was a bit younger.
And I think Rashford and Lingard are the two that have shown the worst attitude from younger players. You've got all the potential in the world. Where's Lingard now? What, South Korea is it?
Yeah, it's South Korea.
I'm like, bro, you're so young.
Mm-hmm.
These are things you should start doing later on in life. Like even when Oscar went to play in China.
Yeah, China.
This was, okay, he was young, but he still played a
Yeah.
good part of his career in the Premier League. Players that are now going to Saudi Arabia, like Kante, all those lot.
Benzema,
This is towards the end of
Ronaldo,
their,
Messi's gone America,
this is
Busquets
towards
is
the
in
end of their
America. Yeah,
career.
their man can do it because they have done what they're supposed to do. They've won all the accolades. We're talking player accolades with their team. Jay, my man, like they've won all the accolades, so they have the right to go out and get that final bag to
Yeah,
secure their
100%, yeah.
secure their family, secure
Yeah.
the rest of their life, the next generations. These man now, you had all the potential in the world. This is what I say to Trey. You can have all the potential in the world, but if you ain't got that mentality, you ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I've
they
seen
haven't got it.
ballers all over in my state, ballers, but the mentality, it wasn't there. You have to have the mentality.
There's
What makes you
one-
world class? I say to Trey, what makes a player world class is your mentality.
Yeah.
It's not your ability.
Yeah.
It's your mentality.
Totally.
Because a world class player, his mentality is on a different planet.
Who's that United player they were talking about years ago now? I think he's older, but he had all the potential in the world. They
Who,
were all
Makeda?
saying he's going to be the next big thing, but his attitude was terrible, and he got himself into all sorts of trouble.
That's my boy Ravel.
Yes, maybe
Morrison.
Are you sure?
Yep, that's Rav.
I think that's him. Yeah.
Rav was supposed to be. Rav was like. I defend Rav though, innit? Because that's literally the man.
Okay, no,
there.
but
so
listen.
I'm not even going to talk on
Okay,
Rav.
that's fine.
But you
Listen,
can have your opinion. But for me, that's like gang business. I got to be loyal.
Yeah. No, listen.
But
Like,
he
I
had all
don't-
the potential. Like he was like they were talking about Ballon d'Ors and shit.
Yeah.
He was that good.
And former players
Always say
the old school
when
players
whoever's
will say-
played with Ravel, they're like, bro, this kid.
Yeah.
Like this kid, bro. It was
Yeah.
like, bro.
So what? No. So all I'm going to say about
it was
that
the
is
mentality.
Yeah, because I don't know too much about it, right? But from what everybody else is saying and and XYZ, it seems to me as if he just had the mentality he has probably now, back then, his whole
he would have been
career would have been completely different.
He would have been like, they would have built the England team around him.
Yeah,
it was
but
that type of level.
I think with Rashford and Lingard though, what they don't realise is in the next few years, there's going to be so many other players that come through that are younger, that are going to get in ahead of them, and they're going to become yesterday's
Lingard's
news.
not even like he's gone. You're done. Respectfully, you are done.
What he did for Forest as well, he did absolutely nothing for them. Just took his money and ran. That was just a pointless exercise.
Very
and I'll tell you why I'd be annoyed if I was a Forest fan.
He's sitting there now and thinking to himself, why did I reject that West Ham move?
Do you reckon?
Yep. Because what do you mean? Of course he reckon.
Well, he
would
played
have
well.
won. He would have won the Conference League. He would have probably been back in the England side.
But
He wouldn't be He wouldn't be in South Korea all alone.
Do some of them care?
Because he's gone there by himself. I don't think his missus is there. I don't think his baby girl's there. It's kind of like when I went to New York. I went alone first. So I know how it is. He's pissed right now. Yeah. You ain't got no one around you. And it's your own fault. I went to America to better myself. You've gone there to resurrect your shit. And look how far you've had to go. And it's all your fault.
What does resurrect mean again?
Restart.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, like there's only so much you can do for somebody.
Because he was a baller, blood. But it's just the mentality, man. He fucked himself, pause.
Also with Rashford, like I've also been one of those people who's like, you know what? All the criticism he gets, it may just completely drain you mentally, and I completely understand that.
No, but he's taking.
But then it's getting to the point now where it's like, how much more leniency can you give to this person?
And then Ten Hag just keeps giving him more rope. What do you
think? I think Ten Hag and Poch are very similar, actually. Maybe not in terms of how they play ball.
Ten Hag is an absolute fraud.
Their mentality is all
he'll stumble
all
across something and then run with it. So like he'll stumble like the way Flawless was saying to me, the McTominay coming off the bench and scoring. He stumbled across it. So now he uses it every game. The whole he even said to me that if Mason Mount was fit, you wouldn't have even seen Kobe Mainoo this season. And Kobe Mainoo, they're talking about having a late run up to the Euros and all of this.
I like him.
Baller. And that shows you that Ten Hag is even more useless than Poch.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ten Hag needs to go now. It's pretty much much clear. I mean, well, we want him to stay.
Poch to stay, him to stay.
No, I was going to high five
Why
you.
not?
I'm not high fiving anymore.
Why?
No, I will throw something at you.
I don't, you couldn't even hit that target. You're a real Chelsea fan. You're a clown. You fully missed. These are a bag.
I don't care.
These are. Fuck off with your Gucci's, yeah.
I haven't worn these in ages. I just thought I'd get them out. Felt like a change today. Anyway, bad weekend for us. Great weekend for you, all bar the midweek.
Prediction for Leeds tomorrow.
Oh God.
Do you know what I'm saying?
So I'm going
1-1 Chelsea penalties.
You think we're winning? Fuck it.
Yeah, because you're going to be tired. You played 120 minutes.
Listen,
the way you lost is going to drain you.
Mark my words, okay? Because fans are already furious.
Are you going?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're brave.
If we lose tomorrow,
yeah,
fans are going to go absolutely apeshit. It is going to be all over social media.
Because remember,
fans are going to go crazy.
Remember, you have a rivalry with Leeds.
Oh, we hate them.
So this is like a derby.
Last time I was up there, it was 5-1, right? This is years and years and years ago. We won 5-1. And I went up with my dad but he a few of my Chelsea friends, but my dad didn't arrive until later in the pub. And we were in one side and the Leeds fans were in the other side of the pub, but it was all very quiet. This was like early afternoon. The game wasn't until the evening. And my mate said to me, Sophie, maybe you should go because it's going to get a little, like, this is going to kick off in a minute. I was like, no, it's not. They're not doing anything. Like, they weren't even drunk, right? My dad comes to get me. We walk out the pub. My friends then go to leave the pub. Straight away, the fans that are in the pub go and jump them. The next time I saw them, they all had like popped eyes, like craziness. And I can honestly, hand on heart, say none of my friends did anything to provoke that. They just are that kind of...
they're on smoke.
That kind of team.
Yeah, they're on smoke.
That kind of fan base.
They're on smoke.
But yeah, we have a massive rivalry against them. And if we don't win... fans are going to sit. It's going to be way worse than what it is now. I've got some tickets courtesy of Jet Set Hospitality. So I'm going you know, to promote them, and it's just like match day packages and things like that, which is nice. So big up them. And they said to me yesterday, "Oh, will you do a preview to say you're going to the game?" And I was like, "Listen, babe, nobody wants to hear about Chelsea today." I was like, "Let's give it a day. Let's let everybody calm down. Least of all me. I don't want to hear about it either." But yeah, so I'm going to the game and I will be supportive. But it's very hard to lose a final and then go into another cup game 3 days later. That is a little bit stressful. You know what I mean? And especially the way we lost it as well. Yeah, I don't really know what to say, to be honest. It's just one shambles to the other. I'm not even making sense. Have I made sense today?
No. A bit
Just
like
all
your
over
team.
the gaff. You're rude.
You get me? That's it, people. Episode 29 wrapped up. A bit like Chelsea. You get me?
Right.
Big up Sophie every time. Subscribe to Sophie. You get me? Sophie Rose's World.
Sophie Rose World.
Sophie Rose World.
Come on, get it right.
Link in the it's in the description anyway, so it don't matter if I get it right or wrong. It's
Okay.
literally there, innit?
Okay, good.
So
I'll be checking that.
you
Yeah,
man go
thank
there and hit that, you know what I'm saying? Like, share, comment, subscribe. We'll be back again on Monday. Until then, man's out.